Hey YouTubers, this is Chris. Never made any YouTube videos, so this is going to be my first video. Um, any helps, comments, concerns, throw them in the comments section. Look, we're pretty much going to talk about just about anything and everything on this channel. Reviews, purchases, helpful tips, videos, what videos to watch, what videos not to watch. Um, I thought I really enjoy watching a couple of different videos on YouTube. They've helped me out a lot, so I figured why can't I help people too. So the first thing I want to talk about is knives. I really like knives. I'm not the biggest knife guy out there, but the ones that I buy, I've done the research. I really like the knives, and I end up getting some. Some guys will hate on me for buying ones that aren't made in America, knockoffs. Then I'll buy name brand. But let's just face it, I don't have a whole lot of money. Neither do you guys. I did get this knife in today, the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. Did a lot of videos watching. Some people love it, some people don't. A lot of people said it's too big for their hand. I really don't think so. I wanted to see a lot of videos where people were holding it, just to get a general idea on the size. So here's a decent idea. I've got the average hand size, I would say, and it just fits beautifully. Extremely lightweight knife. I think it's just awesome. The scales, they're not too rough. I think they feel really nice in the hand. Add that extra little grip, but they're not going to tear your hands up neither. The extra large hole, great open. I know when I first got this knife, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I had watched a lot of videos where guys were, flipping them up, and they were doing fancy stuff to close it, and they'd even get this finger in and try to flick it. And when I first got a hold of this knife, I couldn't do any of that stuff. As you're noticing now, I'm still having a hard time closing it. However, I started playing with it, started working with it. I think it just needed to get broken in a little bit, and now I have mastered at least the thumb flip until I slice my finger off, which I'm sure I'll do in a later video. But about the knife, I just think it's great. They got the G10 scales. It's got your S30V. I don't know if that's going to focus. It wants to. Black on black. I wanted to go with a color. I think the colors are great. They didn't have any available. It was kind of, you get the black on black, or you get the black on satin finish, whatever have you. I will say I have a bald spot on my arm because this knife is just razor sharp. Of course, first thing I do when I buy a flashlight, I turn it on and look at it. If I go blind for 30 seconds, that's a darn good flashlight. So the first thing I do when I get a knife, I want to see if it cuts. So it does cut, as they would. It took hair right off my arm. So I will say that knife blade is sharp, straight out of the box. No issues having to sharpen or reprofile. I think it's a great knife. A lot of people talk on that massive hole for your lanyards. I'm not a big lanyard knife kind of guy. I do appreciate the fact that the clip can be, tip down, left, right, tip up, left, right, whatever your preference is. I'm going to change it. I'm not a big fan of how it sits in my pocket. I've never owned a knife that had the lockup that this knife has. Very cool. It's not a frame lock, which I got into there for a little bit. I thought the frame locks were the up-and-coming #1 lockup, but this spine lock seems to do really well. Holds up amazing. It's got a little bit of jimping here on the blade and a little bit of jimping in the back. It looks to be like the liner itself is jimped, not that G10 scales. So I like that. I'm not a huge gimp guy. I don't think it matters much to me.